Hi everyone, Alistair Davies here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we're talking about depth in the backswing. Now quite often when I say to people I want you to be deeper, they go to me, oh. So what we're really talking about with depth is the relationship of where you are in space and time. So this would be in front of you, this would be deeper, okay? So the more we go this way, the more depth you would have in your golf swing. So I want to talk today about the handle position at the top of the backswing and the appropriate depth you should have to give you the best chance of delivering that club with the right path on the way down or the right shallowness on the way down from the right position on the way back. So if you are a new viewer, please consider following. I post 3 videos a week on a variety of subjects, short game, long game, on course, all sorts of stuff. A bit limited at the moment to mostly long game because of the scenario we're in, but there is a variety on the channel for sure. So I'd love to have you on board. I'd love to help lower your scores. So if you'd like to subscribe, please hit my logo down the bottom. Also during the video, if you have any questions, pop them down in the comments box. Love to hear from you. So keep watching to hear about the depth of the arms or the handle in the backswing. So depth, as I said to you in the start, depth is really the location for me of the arms and the handle when we're talking about it with the hands and the club in the backswing I'm talking about today. Obviously we have depth in the backswing, depth in the downswing, depth in the fall through. As you can see here, I've got 3 golf clubs laid down on the ground. These are to represent, if you want, let's call it gear 1, gear 2, gear 3 in terms of depth. If I put my back of my foot on gear 3, that's pretty much around about where I want you as your maximum depth at the top of the backswing, but that would also be a good place to be from depth. If you were gear 1, let's just try and show you. If you were gear 1 and it'd be somewhere around about there, that means you're going to have to shallow the club a little bit more on the downswing or hit a slice shot, okay, or a fade shot or pull shot. If you were gear 2, I think gear 2 would be pretty much okay. Again, you would have to shallow the club a little bit. If you had more or less gear 3, from here you can turn and there's a very little bit of shallowing on the way down. So if you're the kind of person that struggles to shallow the club, there's 2 ways of looking at it. If you get the club deep in the way back, there's less too shallow. Granted, if you got the club too deep, nearly always you won't shallow because the momentum of the club and how the center of mass and the shaft works on the way down, you're going to get the club head popping out pretty quickly. It's almost a case of, well, the more up I am, the more I will have to shallow, and the more it'll make me shallow and encourage me to shallow. I agree with that to some extent too. I think if you can get around about gear 2 and gear 3, I think for me this is a pretty healthy place to be. So we're talking in your body. If you drew a line up from your ankle, that would be kind of gear 2, and the back of your foot would be kind of gear 3. So gear 2 to 3 would be kind of, for me, the ideal place to be. Now, if you have the right tilt as you do that in your hips and shoulders, you should get this arm at that point somewhere parallel to your shoulder line. And if you have a big turn, it'll get the club up to just shy of parallel. That's kind of what we're after. If you're there, I'm pretty sweet. I'm pretty sweet with whatever you're doing from there. For me, the backswing causes a lot of downswing issues. Quite often as golf coaches we work on the downswing because it gives more effect, it gives more change quicker. But quite often the backswing is the cause, is the reason behind what you're doing. Quite often that's caused by the takeaway and quite often that's caused by the setup, okay? So it's important at some stage you get your DNA of your swing mapped out. What you do well, what you need to do better, what happens, what's your journey, what's your pathway of your golf swing, what's your roadmap. So you know how it works, what characteristics you have, what you want to try and keep, what you want to try and get rid of, and what works in tandem. Because quite often what we'll get is if I get you to go deeper and you shallow the club a lot, it'll probably be really horrible for you. Okay? And vice versa, if you don't shallow the club on the way down, if I got you more upright, it probably won't help you too. So it's about understanding what you do and whether this change is going to help or hurt you or whether this change is going to help the next change you want to do. So sometimes you have to make the 2 changes to make things balance out. So let's take my setup and I'll put my trail heel with that club. I just want to make sure this ball's in the right spot. Needs to come a little bit closer to me. This mat's not flat, so the ball just moves around a little bit. So again, I want to feel from here that I can make a backswing and try and get that kind of depth. So let's just make a slow swing and see if I can do one. Okay, I'll have to watch that back. Again, when I turn, I sometimes get a little bit flat with my shoulder plane, which means I have to try and tilt as I do this a bit more, otherwise it looks a bit ugly. But having this kind of matrix on the floor might just help you understand where you are. And as I said, for me, all these three positions work fine. I wouldn't want to be outside these too much. We might find that Matt Kuchar would be gear 4. Okay, his downswing, by the way, is really good. So again, if we change to his gear 4 on the way back, we're going to upset his downswing. So if the downswing is golden, then we don't mess with it. We don't mess with the backswing because it's going to mess with the downswing. So it's all about relationships and matchups. I know that's a very trendy word at the moment in golf coaching, matchups, but it is. We have to make sure that we have things that agree to each other, or we have to see how things react and make a secondary change, as I said, because we have that magic regression in golf swing, and we have freebies. So as we put one thing right, we get other things start to work better, and everything's wonderful in the world. Other times we'll change things and everything else gets worse, and that's horrible. But put these three clubs down and see where you are, gear 1, gear 2, gear 3. Let's see what your downswing's like, and if your downswing's where you want it to be, then you can use this as a calibration tool to get you back in the same place every single time. For me, as I said, gear 2 or 3 would be about the ideal place for most golfers as a generic rule. We still would want to have good body turn, we still would want to have good width, okay? But in terms of placement, in depth, gear 3 would be pretty good for me. Okay, 2.5, 3, ideal. So I hope you've enjoyed that video there on the depth in the backswing. If you have, please click like and share the video. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, please hit my logo down the bottom corner and join me on my journey and let me help you improve your golf and improve your knowledge in the golf swing, hopefully, as well as we go along. Also, if you have any questions or comments or requests, post them down below. I welcome them, especially requests. It really helps me drive the channel in the direction that I know you're going to enjoy and watch, which makes all the difference to me. So thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in, hope you're staying safe, hope you're getting back on the golf course by now. The golf course has just opened up here in the UK, mine hasn't opened yet. It might be by the time this video goes live, but it hasn't opened yet, hence why I'm still in my garden. But I hope to see you again back here very soon.